Hey everyone, this is Anthony. Welcome back. I'm making a video walking through the only two long setups that I take when I'm trading the gappers. Excluding all the intraday setups that I trade on green days, these are just the most easily recognizable patterns that happen all the time. Uh, I'm just going to talk about the best examples from the last month, GTech and DPW. First of all, I'm going to show you most of my entries and stops come from just simple price action patterns from the internet. You know, it's built into the chart, it's built into what's already happening in real time. So you're not fighting what's meant to be, basically. And I don't really deviate far from what these patterns are, these buying setups. So I've got the DPW trade I'll explain first, if I can get that open. And this was Monday of last week. This was the pre-market activity that I accidentally fat fingered and got into, and then I sold at the open because I wasn't even focusing on the position and I didn't want to babysit it. And I let it play out, and it came back to test the consolidated day high, the dip and rip pattern that Tim Bowen always explains. And I bought in on the anticipating move, and then I added on the confirming move, and then I also added on the break of the downtrend after it was a full bull flag on the daily. So then I sold into the peak resistance, or what I thought was going to be the hard resistance of the day. But so I'll walk through that. I'm on the 30-day 1 minute, so that I can go back as far as I need to, because GTech happened a while ago. But this is DPW. Zoom out. All right. So I'll clear this, clear all my drawings. This was the pre-market action. You could see, obviously, everything was forming flags. It was just flag after flag, pre-market, resistance ranges. I didn't want to trade it yet. I accidentally pulled the trigger and got in, even though I didn't exactly mean to, but it was just very small starter anyway, so it didn't matter. I knew that if we could rotate the float enough at the open and trap enough shorts, if we could break above the highs and confirm the levels of support, it was definitely this range here. And then the high of day was set, the session high was set right there. So that's where I was adding in, and I let it run in my favor. Uh, I didn't try to add too quickly. And then I added on the break of the downtrend. I always look for that. Let it retest. I could have added again, but I did not. And I started to scale out when the karmic rubber band was getting stretched, when it was just running too far in my favor. And then I sold during the distribution up here. I was pretty sure that that would be the hard top of the day, given that it rejected wick, and then kind of um, broke down that neckline right there and then went sideways. So that was DPW. It did spike. It had a day two morning spike that you could have sold into if you were still holding, all the way up to 11 or 10.94, so almost $11 even. And the other trade, that whole setup is the tested morning high breakout, or the dip and rip, or float rotating, you know, breakout, I guess. Uh, you got to let it consolidate for at least 5, 10, 15 minutes out of the open, and then let it take out the day high. And then you can enter on those sellers becoming the new support as they have to bid themselves out of their position. And from there, everyone just continues to rotate the float, getting in, getting out, just recycling the same shares. If you wanted to look at it a different way, you could always break this down in just horizontal levels. So there's that opening level, that whole range from below 325, $3.25, that quarter psychological area. You get that test, you know, testing within a range. It's almost like a cup and handle. It breaks out and it does the rally, okay? And then the next resistance is really just this flat level right up here where it finally spiked through and just could not do it. So spike, test, break, downtrend, pullback, nice rally back up, and then higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and you finally get Well, first of all, that resistance earlier became support and it failed to break down. It trends to break again and then all the way back up. So good levels on that, very easy to recognize. You don't have to look very hard for a stock like this when the stock's already up 100% or, you know, they're really in your face. So the other trade is DPW. This type of setup, I guess I'll pull it up for my screenshot. This is GTech from a few weeks ago. This is what I call the low open bull flag, or it's a stop loss tsunami coming from the open. So as the stock's up huge on the day, and it's already pulled back pre-market and trapped sellers. So if those sellers are incentivized to take their profit or stop out, they cause massive bull flags in the open. So I'll pull that up. This is why I have the 30-day open, because I gotta go all the way back to when it happened. It was this day. This was the pre-market action where the stock spiked. I'll clear the drawing set. It spiked up huge from the previous day close. It spiked up 110% in just a few minutes. It's that hype move. It's the pre-market pump, the pre-market spike reaction to news. It was electric vehicle type oriented, sympathy. Not very important, but it was a million share float. So it is the same idea where if the shares are recycling, you keep making new levels of support and you keep breaking resistance. You keep selling into strength, buying into strength, and it just keeps on setting new levels and trending. So a lot of chasers would try to buy the break of the pre-market high. That is not what you want to do. This is why I like the setup. It gives you enough time to scale in. It's opening low enough that enough sellers have to buy, and it will trend back to that morning high. So if the stock opens powerful and green on the day, down here, I'll zoom all the way in. If it's a big, strong bull flag candle, I actually got in and got out for like break even right there. But so I got back in when I realized the move was actually proving itself. But so it spikes up through VWAP. The sellers are entering into that strength. They're trying to short. It quickly goes against them, and that's where I'm getting in on that panic. And I'm adding on the dips. So as soon as we keep on setting new levels, I think on the 5-minute, there was a reason why I entered there. But so it comes back to break the pre-market high, keeps on trending, and it eventually makes these flag patterns. It made this triangle with that static level of support, which was the pre-market high, which is also just above VWAP. So that's very, 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 buyer centric. It's very long oriented, and you get more flags, you get more triangles. That's what we love to see. You get just constant rise, higher lows, higher highs against flat tops, falling levels. It's just gonna squeeze, 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 and then as soon as I noticed the distribution all the way up on the top, I was already up 150% scaling out, but because my average was in here, yeah, I was up pretty big on that. So I sold out as soon as I realized that huge resistance range of the wick, failed breakouts, just dying momentum, and then when it came to kind of just wash out, I finished taking profit, I finished scaling out. So those are the only two trades that I take on the gappers. Mostly because if you've been around long enough, you notice a lot of the gappers are seller biased. They're bearish, they're bearish setups. They're kill candles right at the open, or they go sideways and they break down, they wash out, and they become all day fades. You don't get many long opportunities on these unless it is a wave of market orders, which is what I'm trying to take advantage of in these two setups. And these are the only two, because the other ones don't have the key levels that will incentivize new buyers to manipulate the price. Um, and this is just for the gappers. Like I said, I have a lot of intraday strategies which work clean like this too, because everything is just bull flag, triangles, flat top breakouts. Um, I'm mostly thinking about the highs. you know, the session highs, the pre-market highs, the all-time highs, like whatever it is on the day. Um, Maybe I'll make another video explaining some of the good intraday setups that also happened. I've got some from the last week and the last 2 weeks that were actually great examples with YJ, with Moho, with ELYS, with Rail. Rail was not that big of a trade though. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe. I know I don't have that much of a following. I don't have that many videos. I'll try to work harder on putting videos out. Yeah, thank you for watching, as always.